boys and girls, I'm going to show you how to start making a square. So what first I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a Sprite and I'm going to draw it this time. So this time I want to start with a square. They actually have a square shape. So I'm just going to get a square and I'm going to move it to the center, and then I'm going to just pick what color I would like it to be. So I'm going to start with kind of a dark blue, and I am going to put it kind of right here. So the next thing I want to do, I want to duplicate this so it's the same size and the same color, and I'm going to put it up here, but on this time I'm going to go to my text box and I'm going to make my text a different color. And so then I just have and then I can just say like square or click on me or something to that effect. Okay, so then I can move this up here and I can shrink it just a little bit. Okay, so now I know that, so now I have what and I'm going to rename this one. I'm going to name this one as the square button, and then I'm just going to name this one make a square. Okay, so now I have both. So you're going to need both of these for this project. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to click on make the square button. So when I go to my code, I'm going to bring out a button that says when the flag is clicked, go to that location, so that way the button doesn't move around. And then I want, as a button, I want it to be clicked. So I'm going to say when this sprite is clicked, then I'm going to send a message. So this is broadcasting. Broadcasting is when you have one sprite tell another sprite to start. So I'm going to broadcast a message, and I want to make sure that I name these messages. So I'm going to say square. So when this sprite is clicked, it's going to broadcast square. So I'm going to come over here to square, and when I'm going to say when the flag is clicked, I want this one to, I'm going to change the size of this just to be a little bit smaller. And to start off with, I'm going to tell it to hide. Okay, so when the flag is hidden, or the flag is clicked, it's going to hide. It will show up later. So now, so now this one sent a message to square. So now we're going to come to our events, and it's going to say when I receive the square, this is where I'm going to start making a square. So we're going to use our pen tools from if you didn't have your pen tools, remember you click on these lines and get your pen tools right there. Okay, so now I'm going to start with my pen tools. So anytime I use a pen tool, I was going to start with erase all with the flag. And I want my pen tool to, just to make it easier, I'm just going to tell it at the very beginning to go to 0, 0. So that way it just stays there in the middle. So now I'm going to get my pen tool. So with my pen tool, I'm going to say when I receive the square, I want it to move forward. So I'm going to say move. But I didn't see the pen, so we need to make sure that in order to see the square, we actually need to put the pen down. So now I'm going to put the pen down, and I'm going to move 10. Well, 10's not very much, so I'm going to put it at 50. Okay. So now it moved 50. So now I'm going to, in order to make a square, you have to turn. Now, if you remember from math, a 90-degree angle is how you get 50. Is how you get a 90-degree angle is how you get a square. And so if you remember, a square also has 4 sides. So I am going to repeat this 4 times. Move 50. Okay, so and then when I'm done with this, I want to make sure I come over and put the pen back up. Okay, so how many times for a square again? It is 4. So I'm going to click here, and then I can, when it gets the square, you saw that it drew the square. And you can always have it show back up. and you can always have it hide. So then it looks like the little square is drawing itself. So instead of just, so I'm going to tell it to show back up. And now I'm going to tell it to, at the end, the pen's going to go back up and we can hide it again. So let's see what that looks like. So now it says, what are we, it's the spelling, we're looking at your own. So now I click the square and it made a square. So we see that it had four sides, four angles. So this is how you would make a square using a button.